Ready, Rose?
Hold on.
Drinking
Right.
coffee at 6 p.m. That's toxic.
Concerning.
All right, ready?
Start recording in 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? We're back with another episode of the You Discuss podcast. Today, episode 5, we're going to be talking about living in the dorms, living with roommates, floor mates, how to get along, how to deal with everything. Today, we have another guest on. We have our friend Sam, who is Claudia's former roommate and the designer of our logo. Sam, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, so yeah, as Ross said, I used to live with Claudia, and that's how I met Jay and Ross. But I am currently a senior wildlife ecology and conservation major with a minor in art at the University of Delaware. And yeah, I designed the logo.
Very exciting.
Okay, so I think we're going to start off talking actually about the current living situation at school, because we obviously didn't really get to experience that with COVID. And we know that a lot of people have been having to deal with that. So Sam, do you want to explain that since you're still currently at school?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. So, I mean, I currently have a lot of in-person classes because I'm a senior, and my major requires a lot of hands-on work in like the later classes. So I have classes where I am currently trapping squirrels um, and going in person almost every day. But most of my roommates, they they have all of their classes online. And I mean, as like social life goes, there has been a big shift over the past like few weeks where warmer weather has started to happen. And so people have started to kind of act like COVID is not necessarily a thing, which is kind of concerning. um, but overall, you kind of have to submit a little health check in the morning to make sure that you're not experiencing any symptoms. And if you pass that, you're able to go into class or
Still get those
access any
emails.
buildings. Yeah.
I'd like to sidetrack a little bit and go back to this trapping of squirrels. I haven't stopped thinking about it. Why
That's
are
fair.
you trapping squirrels? I don't want
so
PETA to come for us. So
no. So I'm in a wildlife research techniques class. So we were learning about how to safely and keeping squirrels alive, trap squirrels, so that you can
I like it. I like it.
like learn from the research and stuff that's going on with them. Yeah.
Fascinating. Yeah, because you said trapping squirrels, and I had a lot of different situations going through my head.
That's
so
fair.
I just wanted to clarify, yeah.
Yeah, no,
But, yeah.
basically waking up super early, going down to South Campus and like baiting squirrel traps.
Are there a lot, like, do you see a lot of people on campus in general, like, not just, like, social-wise, but, like, do you see a lot of people wandering around, hanging out on the green, stuff like that?
I honestly haven't been too much to the green, but I think there are a good amount of people who go there. Some of my roommates sometimes go there, just to like do work and stuff, because it's a really good place to gather outside. But I don't think it's anywhere near as much as it used to be. But you still do see people like sitting on their porch or like behind their house and stuff and working on school and stuff.
It's kind of crazy. Like I've visited Sam a couple times throughout throughout her senior year, and like for us, even though like our last semester, you know, we kind of had to deal with this, but just seeing how it is now compared to like how it was like even like our fall semester senior year, I'm just like, this is so weird, but like there's really nothing you could do about it. I'm like, it's so sad. Like this is like we it was what half of 3/4 of a semester for us. Like you've been doing this for 3 semesters. Like I can't imagine. Like it's insane. It's crazy.
I remember when COVID hit. I mean, obviously the 3 of us were seniors, and I was like, this is the worst. I'm not going to be able to go to Grottos. Grottos is one of the big bars on campus, for those who are don't know. But I was like, I don't get to go to Grottos. I have to sit on my porch in the nice weather and hang out with Jalen all the time. That's terrible. With the assumption that we'd kind of be in and out of this thing in a couple of months. So, the class of 2021 definitely got gypped. That's for sure.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And
we're
the
graduating
burnout.
with you.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Very exciting, kind of. But
Okay, so getting back to the living situation. Understand that everything with COVID, most people have to be in singles in the dorms for underclassmen, and that has to be very annoying. But obviously, we don't know too much detail about that or experience that. So what we're going to be talking about is when everything is really back to normal and people are living in doubles and triples again and back to normal in the dorms. So first off, we're going to start talking about the communal facilities in the dorms. Jay, do you want to start us off?
So, not all the dorms have communal facilities. I know most of them do, but if you're in a suite, you actually get a bathroom that's connected to another room. So instead of like an entire floor using a bathroom, like it'd just be 3, 4, 5 people, whatever suites are, which is definitely nice. But for us, I think all 3 of us or 4 of us, right? Maybe not Sam. I don't know. Sam, where'd you live your freshman year?
I lived in Smythe. So that's like in between South Academy and CR.
That's funny because last episode we said, do we know anyone that has ever lived like
yeah, we were like, no one's ever been in Smythe.
Yeah, no, nobody goes there. That's so funny. But yeah, so a lot of the dorms are community living, which basically means that there is 1 or 2 bathrooms on the floor, and everyone shares them, which can be annoying at times.
Well,
I mean,
no, here's the difference, Jalen.
boy.
Some floors were great. They were clean. People, all you did was go and use the bathroom and shower. Our floor, on the other hand, that was basically a meeting place for everyone to hang out and smoke and drink and throw up all over the showers and just have a grand old time.
Yeah, so like we said last episode, a lot of stuff, and for us at least, like this is just our experience, like a lot of stuff happens in the bathroom. That sounds kind of weird. Like nothing bad. Like it's just like,
that very strange,
yeah, like people, like it's just like people hanging out. Like we were just.
Okay, well that also sounds strange. We hang out in our rooms. We don't just go like, oh yeah, man, meet me in the 3rd stall. We're gonna
yes, we do. Yes, that's exactly what we did. That's exactly what happened. It was
you guys had a weird floor.
Yeah, we were very close. It was always the guys' bathroom, which sucks because I would go in there and there'd be a crowd of people and I'm just trying to take a shower, but everybody's already drinking at 3:30 on a Wednesday, and I'm like, guys.
My favorite was you would know that it was the start to the weekend because there are people on our floor who would put shower beers in their like shower caddies, and like you're like, it's gonna be a good weekend. They've got their shower beers locked and loaded.
Yeah, so the bathrooms definitely, I guess, like for us it was like a different experience, but for the most part I don't think many people have like that many problems with community bathrooms. I think the biggest thing would just be walking in and seeing that all the showers are taken and then you have to wait for a shower. But
that rarely happened to me. Like if you shower like right after class or after the gym or something, like it's not too bad. As long
I'd
as
say
you
a
do
tip
shower shoes.
that the shower shoes again. A tip for me is that in Russell, I was on the complete other end of the bathroom, and whenever sometimes I had to go take a shower or use the bathroom, I would just go up 1 flight of stairs, and because the bathrooms were like switched on each floor, like girls, boys, like reversed, so the boys' bathroom would be right above me, so it would be a lot easier sometimes to just go there instead.
Yeah, it was definitely nice in Gilbert because we had 2 guys and 2 girl bathrooms on each floor. So like my room was across from the bathroom, which was pretty nice.
That's amazing.
Same.
Yeah. Sam, is Smythe, is that how is that set up? I don't even know. I've literally never been in there.
That's fair. It's kind of like a U shape. So on one side of the U, there's a bathroom for like girls, and that's all girl dorms. and then on the other half of the U is guys. So I lived in the basement.
Jesus Christ.
I lived in the basement, and because there were less of us living on the floor, we all had one RA. But as you went up, there was it was split. One side was all girls and one RA, and then on the other side was all boys and another RA.
I didn't know it was split. That's so interesting.
Yep.
I liked, because for us it was every other room was alternate guy girl, and I kind of liked that. I don't know how I don't know.
I kind of wish that it had been that way for us.
Yeah.
That would have been really nice.
Right.
I mean, really nice is a strong word, I think. I think outside of Gilby, where we were kind of just a mess because we were always doing stuff, it's going to be maybe a controversial yet brave statement, but women tend to keep their facilities cleaner. We are Jalen, I've seen your house. Calm
You
down.
destroyed the men's bathroom. You were part of
No. I'm saying, in general, females women tend to have cleaner rooms, cleaner showers, stuff like that. So I can appreciate the separation.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell me that, huh?
You have hair.
Yeah, but we clean up after ourselves.
Just that you don't. All right, moving on. The communal facilities is definitely something it never bothered me while I was there, but now I think of it and I was like, that's terrible. I have to share a bathroom with one person now, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. But I shared it with the entire building.
Yeah, it's gross. It's so gross. But that's just the norm. It's the college norm.
And then there's also the laundry room, which I find very annoying, especially considering there was 2, maybe 3 washers and dryers, and so in Russell you had to
we had 12.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
In Russell we had to wait forever and find the perfect time to do laundry. I remember I either did it really early in the morning or at midnight or 1 a.m. and then even if that was taken, you had to just take someone else's clothes out and just go with it and just throw them on top of the dryer.
I forgot about doing laundry in dorms. I remember once I got very agitated by this girl who took, I had a timer set and I was down there walking in and she was taking my wet clothes out of the washing machine. I was like, ma'am, my alarm just went off 10 seconds ago. Let's calm down a little bit. It's not that important. And the timer is laundry.
I used to sit and study in the laundry room because I knew that people were going to mess with my laundry. So it was a good
not
place.
A bad technique.
But yeah.
In Gilbert, there's a quiet lounge directly across from the laundry room. I know people would sit in there and study. I didn't. I never went in there.
It's not across. Oh, the small one. I was thinking of the big one.
No, not the big one. Yeah, it's for complete silence studying, which I can't do that.
Imagine having studying rooms. Couldn't do Russell.
I need to chat with whoever I'm with every 10 minutes, just do a check-in. That's how I study.
Is that what we call it?
A check-in, where Jay and I are like, let's go study together, and then we just chat for 3 hours, and then we're like, this is enough, let's leave.
Yeah. So speaking of those rooms, so I'm pretty sure, don't all dorms have lounges somewhere? At least one in.
Yeah.
Do Lane and Thompson?
I think so. Yeah.
I think they. I know.
Yeah,
they do. I don't know if they have one on each floor like Gilbert did, but I know that they have as soon as you walk in, they have a lounge to the right where you can.
Because if Lane and Thompson do, then basically everyone else has to.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, we had 2 on every floor, and then there were 2 on the main floor, and they were. If you wanted to study, I feel I don't know. I see here, we have lounges and study areas. I don't know. Gilbert, we had lounges on the floors and then study areas downstairs. If you wanted to do any work, you would not go to the lounge. I mean, that's for our floor. just because it was more of a like communal hangout. Like, let's just all just sit, talk.
I mean, during the days you could do some studying.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'd see like one person in there once in a while, but I mean, it's kind of like being in your room. Like random people are gonna pop in and disturb you and do whatever. Like it definitely wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it was just better to. I mean, I would even go downstairs into the like main room and study. I did group projects there, because Gilbert during the day is open. The entire first floor is open because it's the housing headquarter place. So
I remember I never knew that until like the end of the semester, and I would
Yeah.
always have to ask you to like let me in.
yeah, like if you, I'm pretty sure if you go in like before like 5 or 7, something like that,
Yeah.
the
it's
door
always
was
open.
like the door was just open. Like you didn't need an ID to get in.
Which I definitely have a security concern with that.
Yeah, but they do have. You have to use your ID to use the elevator and also to go up the stairs. So like you couldn't go to
Still.
anyone's floor, but you could still kind of just walk in. Plus, for Gilbert, it was very easy to. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say very easy because there's many times where Ross would text me, I wouldn't answer. But it's very easy to get into
lot.
the dorm.
Yeah,
and to
I mean,
go
there's
upstairs.
constantly people walking in and out.
Yeah, exactly. I'll never forget.
Well, and
when,
Reading.
I'll never forget when we were all like sitting in my room upstairs, and the elevator, like you heard the elevator ding, and like my door is always like it was always open, and a dog just sprints past my room, and I was so confused. I was like, whose dog is that? And then like the elevator dings again, and then the man comes in and starts chasing the dog. I'm like, not only like the man got up, okay, like someone probably swiped him, but like how the dog ride up by himself on the elevator? Just he
Just
picked the
hanging
fifth,
out.
just hanging out, pick the 5th floor. Like, why not?
I like it.
It's like, all right. So it was definitely. I mean, I know, Claudia, you said you started locking your door after the incident, but
Yes, the incident. For those who are not familiar with the incident, I will not name this individual, but we had
you
a
did
friend.
last episode.
Oh, okay. Our friend Liam, he came in at 3 a.m., opened my door, jumped on top of me while I was sleeping, just like kind of like elbowed me, and I woke up, and then he chugged a beer while sitting up in my bed, and I was so disoriented, but it was fine. It was fine, but I locked my door after that.
My sophomore year, there was a guy who I think he was like either coming back from the bars or like went to the bathroom drunk, and he was trying to find his way back to his room, walked into this girl's room, pulled off his pants and got into bed.
Oh my god.
And she knew him, luckily, but she really like had a heart attack.
Well, that was like
I would have.
Not
Yeah.
great.
that was like my freshman year roommate, Kaverick. He was drunk and thought that we still lived in Gilbert when we lived in the towers.
No.
And
Yes.
walked
That
to
was
Gilbert.
a good story.
And he walked to Gilbert
That
because
was-
he was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I live in
Love that part.
523 and it's the 5th floor. And I was like, that's hilarious.
And it's so second nature. You're so used to like that walk and everything. So like your drunk
Mhm.
brain's like, yeah, that's where I gotta go. Like I gotta go home.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
what a sad long walk back from Gilby to the towers.
Oh, it's so far. So
Really
far.
Especially the bridge.
Bring
Bridge
up the
that never
again.
ends.
The bridge doesn't end. I'm telling you, they add an extra 100 feet every week. You can't tell me I'm wrong because they do it. I'm on to you, Delaware.
All right. Well, I think one of the we've talked about the areas of living in the dorms, which goods and bads. It's an experience. One of the bad things I'll have to say about living in the dorms is getting written up. And for those who don't understand that, it's basically there's a list of rules for the dorms that if you get caught, you have to go to student conduct. You have to do all this stuff. It is what it is. There's certain things. We have a friend, Michaela, who got written up for having a candle. So there's some dumb stuff like that. But there's also, don't have alcohol in your room if you're not 21. Like,
At least not
keep
out
it
in the
hidden.
open.
Yeah, keep it hidden, Jalen Sorensi. Like,
I don't know what you
that's
guys
the
are talking
rule.
I don't drink I didn't drink until I turned 21.
I was gonna say as he's sipping.
I did not start drinking until I was of age.
Of course,
sure.
of course. It's okay, man. The statute of limitations is up. You're fine.
Yeah.
But
Freshman year, my RA walked into this guy's room, and he had like on his dresser, he had his dab pen.
Hmm.
She looked at it, picked it up, like looked at it, went, put it down, and then walked out.
see, and that's the thing. Sometimes you have a cool RA who doesn't care. Sometimes you have RAs who, you know, were
Thievery.
the kids in high school.
It could be a
teacher, there
complete
was
toss-up.
homework.
You could be very
Yeah.
fortunate or doomed.
Well, and I got written up for this one. So one of the most problematic violations you can get is called the complicity rule. Complicity basically means that you were there when something was happening that wasn't supposed to happen. So if let's say person A is having a party and drinking with all their friends, and I walk in and right at that split second, the RA comes, I get written up for complicity because I was there in the room and therefore condone those activities. It's dumb. It's stupid. I'm sorry, UD, but you're wrong on this part. You're wrong. Like,
I didn't know
am not
that's what
gonna go
happened when you got
tattle-
written up.
I'm not going to go tattle on my friends and be that kid who's like, oh my God, they're smoking weed. Go arrest them. Like, what college kid is going to do that? So I've got some beef with UD on my complicity charge. They sent a letter to my mom, guys. Jill didn't care, though.
I guess that's what happened to everyone that got written up in my room.
Yep.
I mean, I was there, but I never got written up. I was very lucky.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems that everyone there says the same thing, that nobody got written up except Nick Dill. Nick Dill seemed to be the only person.
Maybe it's because he actually lived there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so did Gabrick.
Who knows? Yeah, but my biggest issue with this rule is basically the wording is like, you need to try and stop the behavior and report it. So like, oh, my friend is 20 and having a beer in my apartment. I need to report them and try and curb this dangerous behavior of having one beer. It's dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah, I
That's
didn't
ridiculous.
know. Yeah, I didn't know that was like
Yeah, it's
the
a bad
reasoning. Ross, do you remember sophomore year when we had to go to conduct because of the Russell sign? I get an
So
email.
one night, when I don't know, we were bored and we just wanted to take a trip back to East Campus since we were living on the towers that year. I wanted to get a little memory of where I lived freshman year. So I went to Russell and I lived in Russell B, the building that I was in, and I stripped off one of the signs that said Russell B, and then put it on in the towers. Like there's like the door like to get into the room, and then there's a separate door to get into like the little bedroom section. So we put the Russell B sign onto the door with to get into the bedroom, and we were fine for a while. And then I think it was during winter break when
check out. Yeah.
you check out, and like the RAs and people have to check the rooms to make sure everything's fine. There's no problems, no candles or anything stupid. I don't know.
The chaos.
They send us an email, and my sign was gone, and we had to go to a meeting and explain what we did.
I remember going to the meeting and I sit down and he was like, so, and he's like, it was like this guy who's like super nice. I had to go all the way to Harrington for this freaking meeting. And the guy was like super nice. He's like, so like, do you know what this is about? And I was like, no. And he's like, so we just sat down with your roommate. You guys got a check mark or whatever on your like checkout. And I was like, oh, I'm like, what? I'm like, what do we do? He's like,
also checkmark sounds good, so I can.
I know,
see
but
that
like,
confusing.
yeah. So he was like, you guys vandalized like university property, and I was like, what? I was like, where? And he was like, so we found a Russell B sign in your room. I was like, oh, really? It's like this is what that's about, and I'm like, all right.
They say that you vandalized Russell B, while UD has the audacity to rip up and construct on our entire green for 3 years. I'm sorry, you have no space to talk, honey.
I think when I met with them, I tried to like pull some bullshit excuse that like I picked it up because it fell off and I saw it on the ground.
Yeah,
Something like
I told
that.
I that's what I said too. I was on your side.
Look at that.
I was
still
like,
couldn't
Partners
keep
in
sign.
crime.
yeah, I know. Ross was like super. It was like he like I remember like texting me. I don't know. We talked when we got back to the room. He was like, I missed my sign. I was like, that's what we learned from this. It's that you missed your sign. Like, okay.
And that's the thing about these getting written up is like, yeah, there are certain things like, yeah, probably not great to do cocaine in the lounge. Wouldn't recommend. But like, yeah, we had friends who were doing cocaine in the lounge. You don't remember that freshman year?
I mean, I don't, but I probably know who it is. But we'll move on to that.
But things like the candles, things like, oh, my friends are drinking and I just want to hang out with my friends kind of thing, those I do have issues with. But it is what it is, so make sure that you are very careful with what you're doing. And if you do get written up, we will have a podcast on the Office of Student Conduct and how to avoid it, hosted by yours truly. Been there a few times.
But yeah, I like remember another time where freshman year, for once, me, Nick, and Kabrick were watching The Lion King. Just the three of us in our beds watch The Lion King, and we get a knock on the door from the RA from the floor under us, and he's like, you guys having a party? I was like, we're watching The Lion King. He was like, I smell alcohol. I was like, we're watching The Lion King. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, you can see you can look in the room. I opened the door and turned the lights on. And it's just the three of us watching The Lion King. He's like, can you keep it down? I was like, we're in bed.
Well,
just
all we
watching
want to do is watch a movie.
Right. And he's like, it's quiet hours. And I'm like, we just want to watch a movie. I like.
Quiet hours don't exist.
Quiet hours.
They exist, but no one follows them.
Yes, correct.
I do have a fun. Go, Jay.
I didn't know when quiet hours were, to be honest. Like, we have them here in our notes. So I could say it. Sunday to Thursday, quiet hours are 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. And then Friday and Saturday, it's 11:59 p.m. to 8 a.m. So midnight to 8 a.m. I didn't know that, to be honest.
I didn't know. I knew that we had quiet hours, but I also didn't understand that they were like silent hours.
Silence.
So like if you're watching The Lion King, you'll get written up kind of thing.
I was like, I know that, like, go.
One of the important things to remember is that I didn't know this until later on, but if you do choose to drink, if you choose to smoke, even cigarettes, because UD is a no nicotine area. Just because you go off campus does not mean that you're safe from the campus student conduct. The UD police will hear about anything that happens off campus. So Newark police is obligated to report anything you do. So just because you're off campus does not mean you're safe. Please be careful. Please don't get written up. They send a letter to your mom and then she makes fun of you about it. So just be ready.
That's the best case. The best case is you have Jill as your mom.
Yeah, I remember. I'm sorry. Okay. I remember our junior year, Ross, I think, when we had Nick's birthday party, right? That was junior year.
Sure. Yeah.
And there was we were having a party at our place. Everybody was like in our garage, and like, I don't know, we weren't being like crazy rowdy. It was just like all of our friends, but a cop car comes and like pulls around and parks like right in front of our garage. So we were all like, shit. This is not good.
Yeah, and then everyone came upstairs and hid.
Everyone came upstairs. People were running out of the front door. I was just like, okay, this is not good. But turns out someone needed assistance across the street. But I honestly don't know what happened with that.
There is always some comfort in being 21 and going to parties, because I'm like, what are you gonna do to me? I am legal. Like, you can't stop me. Try and threaten me. Like,
we had a similar situation to that this year, but because of COVID, they're very specific with like how many people are allowed to be in the house and stuff. So we saw the cops coming like up to our garage, and we had the garage door open because we wanted the airflow, you know? And like immediately one of my roommates shut the garage door and like ran, and I was like, what is happening? And the cops ended up coming up to the front door and like knocked, and we were like, what is going on? And this guy comes up, and my other roommate answered the door, and she was like, hi, like, how can I help you? And he's like, why did I just see a whole bunch of people run? And she was like, honestly, I feel like that's like a fairly common college response to a police officer coming to the door. And he was like, okay, that's fair.
I mean, that's a pretty fair response to anybody seeing cops.
Right? You know? Yeah, especially now. Like, but yeah, so she was like, yeah, sorry about that. Is there anything I can help you with? And he was like, yeah, we just got a noise complaint, but honestly, you guys aren't that loud, so like you're fine, just like be safe. And we were like, okay, please don't come back here.
Yeah, the University of Delaware police, honestly, like they're really like they're very chill. Like they kind of just
agree to disagree.
But
yeah,
no,
some of the time.
No, I feel like the university police is like good, like cool, but then once you get to like Newark police, like they're ready. They if you have like, I don't even know, like they're just ready to take everybody to jail.
Yeah, I remember I was told that I committed a very serious criminal offense when I jaywalked during winter session when no one was there. And I was like, sir, do you know how many people do drugs on this campus and illegal activities? Come on. And me jaywalking is a serious criminal offense.
And how many robberies too? Like, yeah. Come on.
Ridiculous. But anyways, we should move on. Just be safe and don't make too poor a decision, but still
okay.
Fun.
So getting back to the dorms, off another tangent, let's get to living with roommates. Jay, do you want to take that?
Yeah. So we went over last episode about picking roommates, choosing roommates, more so I guess freshman year or going into freshman year. I went random my freshman year, as I said, and it worked out, like definitely, like it really worked out for me. Like I really liked my living situation, and then my roommate Ross was my roommate sophomore year, and then we lived together my junior and senior year. So like it was great living with Ross, and then Abu, Nick. Like I really didn't have like many problems with any of my roommates. It was definitely, I always make the joke, junior and senior year especially, about how Ross, Nick, and Abu made sure that I kept my cool and my tameness. It didn't really work out much, but
yeah, Jalen and me are basically like polar opposites, and Nick and Abu, who are also our roommates, are basically more similar to me than Jay, I would say, probably.
Yes.
So Jay living with the three of us was good for him.
I'm telling you, like it was like I would not have. I'm very happy that I lived with the roommates I chose. Like I didn't really. I mean, I guess I had a choice freshman year, but especially sophomore, junior, and senior year, like I think it helped me a lot with the people I chose. That's not the case for everyone. Even people that do choose their roommates, like sophomore, junior, and senior year, like still can sometimes not get along.
Yes.
Claudia.
I feel targeted.
But I think it's important just to, especially if you don't know the person, like freshman year coming in, it's important to like just lay out some rules and stuff. You'll kind of like, I feel like you get to like feel the room like eventually just naturally. But like sometimes like when there's something that's going on that you don't like and you don't say anything, it's not going to change. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm gonna look at Claudia because I can't really talk about my bad roommate experiences because I have not had one.
Yeah, before
It's so-
Claudia goes off, I'll just like basically piggyback with Jay. Like I went in random, and me and my roommate freshman year, we're actually like pretty different, I would say, me and Gianluca.
Really?
But
Gianluca's more my
yeah, in comparison, Gianluca is much more like Jalen. But we obviously got along very well, so that went well. So now Claudia can go off on her tangent. Just wanted to add that in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna tangent. I talked about it a little bit last time. I mean, my freshman year was well, it is what it is kind of situation. That's how I view my living. I mean, some people are just unlucky and you have very, very messy roommates. I'm an incredibly clean, organized person. I organize my Tupperware by size and shape. So like, it is what it is.
She did that to our house at one point senior year.
I did. I was bored. I was just hanging out with Jay and I organized.
It was the day before Cinco de Mayo.
But no, I mean, it is important to remember that sometimes you're just going to have a rough situation or there's going to be issues that you need to talk about. And there's nothing wrong with going to your roommate and saying, look, this is bothering me. And they might laugh in your face and make it worse. And it is what it is. But most of the time, people might not even realize what is happening, or oh, I didn't even realize my volume was too loud on my TV, or da da da. Like, it is, you learn to chat about things and then they get figured out. It's not always a huge debacle.
Communication is key.
Yeah, I will say sophomore year I had a roommate who she and I were very, very different, like just very different people, very different schedules. and she would be like going to take a nap at 10 p.m. when I was going to bed because I had early classes, and would wake up to an alarm 20 minutes later. So I definitely learned a lot about communication from that because I was not good at communicating in the moment.
If anyone's curious, Jay is laughing really hard right now because I think he may relate
it's
to
funny
not to the Sam part, to the roommate part.
It's funny because I'm like, oh, like I love my roommates, they're so great. And then Ross is like, Jay's the worst roommate ever. No,
that was fun. It was fun.
I know that I have tendencies to do certain things. It's a good way of putting it.
Sure.
Let's keep it vague.
It sounds sketchy.
So like we said, like Ross, Nick, Abu, I mean even Ross sophomore year, we were very I'm like kind of a wild child. So like sometimes Ross would be like, I'm gonna go to sleep and I have class in the morning, I'm gonna be a good student. And I'd be like, Colleen, come over, it's 1 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Let's watch South Park and drink. Because that sounds fun to me. But
I have unfortunately been a victim to some of those Jalen texts. But eventually they went from, hey, do you want to hang out on Sunday night to, hey, can you open the door?
Yeah.
I'm here. Or why didn't you leave your door unlocked and know that I was just going to show up randomly?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have an explanation. I just assumed that I belonged there.
The House 95 South Chap was calling to you.
Yes, exactly. Like sometimes you just feel like you got to be there. And I'm like, I do got to be there. I understand.
I think one of the best moments was Jay texting Michaela and I. He actually texted us and he was like, hey, so I have a few bottles of Andre and like a part of a bottle of orange juice. We're doing mimosas. And it was like 9 a.m. And I was like, okay, all right.
And then what happened?
I think it was like 6 bottles of Andre later.
Yep. I went back to the liquor store and I went to go open the door and it was like locked. And I was like so confused. I was like, since when is this closed? I was like, oh, it's closed because it's like 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got.
Well, I was going to say, going back to roommate issues, I was one of the only people that I know who went to roommate mediation. Did you guys go to roommate mediation?
I should have know that.
I should have too.
Ross is just shitting on me left and right.
That's pretty standard. I mean, come on. No, roommate mediation is basically you set up a meeting with a member of the residence life and housing staff, and they are like a person to listen in and help you deal with your issues. And I'm not going to name any names, but two of my roommates freshman year, I had a lot of switching of roommates. One of them did not like the other one and brought us to roommate mediation, which we sat in a room all thigh to thigh on this small couch. And I was just like, I have no idea what's going on. Basically, they just asked us a bunch of questions about what the issues were, offered very little advice, and someone left early. So while it may work for some people, if you're not doing something or you're not sweeping enough, like it really did not made it worse, to be honest. It made it very tense in the room.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Either did I.
Yeah.
To be honest, I read that as roommate meditation. I thought you guys just sat in a circle and meditated. That was my. How do you request? Like, how do you go to that? How do you do that?
So I think you can just go online and search up roommate mediation, and there's a certain email. I think you can send an email and like you have to attach a form of like what the issues are. And they just set an appointment with you guys and you all go in and chat about your issues. And that's about it. I mean, it seemed very not structured. It was very much like, well, maybe just try and get along better. And it's like, well, Karen, that's the issue, is that we're not getting along. Right. So how are you going to fix that? And so I don't really recommend it. I didn't have a great experience with it, but worth looking into if you're having roommate issues.
And another option is obviously going to talk to your RA and seeing if you can do anything about possibly relocating, or I don't think you can like force your roommate to move out, right? That's like
you have to leave.
Yeah. But
well, and I was gonna say, if worse comes to worse, leave. Like, I mean, it sucks to move, but you don't want your freshman year to be terrible.
It's like your most important, like that's like the beginning. Like you make your relationships and stuff like that year, so you want to make sure that you're in like a good, happy environment to do that.
And you want to make sure that it's good for you. I mean, you want your mental health to be good. You want to have a good first experience at school. Like, there was a girl my freshman year who, she and her roommate just like didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. And she ended up moving, and like none of us really expected it, and we really liked her, but she ended up moving to North Campus, so like opposite side of campus. And I remember seeing her at a party, and she was just like so happy. Like she just seemed like she was a totally different person. And it was so good to see that she had like done that for herself, and that it was like the right move for her, and that she had like found her peeps.
Yeah. I know like Abby, she had, roommate problems. Our one friend Jill's, like she ended up moving out. But like for Abby, like what she did, like she's like, I didn't have the best living situation, but she became like super close just with people on our floor. Like she was always in my room, always hanging out. So like she would just come find other people. Like we said before, you're not going to be best friends with your roommate always. Like it's great if it happens, but if it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. So it's like why you can go meet other people even just around you to try to fix that, because like in the end, your room, like it has your bed, you sleep there,
right?
Like that's what it's for. That's why you're living there, just to have a place to sleep. So like whatever you do besides that, like it's up to you.
I think that's a pretty good transition to getting into floor mates and getting to know them, so you can try to make more friends. And obviously Jay and Claudia can probably vouch for that much more than I can, because they lived in Gilby, and their whole floor was friends. Meanwhile, myself and Gianluca were basically by ourselves on our floor, and at least I could say that. I think so. Basically, our floor was like nothing compared to what their floor was.
With the exception,
5B was legendary.
with the exception of like 4 people, I think everyone on our floor was friends.
Yeah.
Everyone talked to right. Everyone talked to everyone. Yeah, all hang out. We literally, like, you could sit outside your door, then someone else would sit outside their door, and then 10 minutes later, there's 15 people just sitting outside your door. Yeah. So like, for me, I mean, we talk about for our freshman year. Freshman year was my bet. Like, that was my favorite year of college, and it forever will be. And I think a big part of it was just like we kind of lucked out. Like, as Ross said, like, for his floor, he didn't really go out and talk to his neighbors or anything. Like, they didn't do that. Like, for us, if I think about,
it just wasn't a thing for us. I don't know.
Right, and like, that's crazy to me because, like, my door was always open. Like, you don't knock on my door. Just walk in. Like, you were coming. You were gonna hang out. Like, it was like,
you're knocking. Get out.
I was Jay's neighbor, and I can tell you that there was constantly stuff going on in his room. And Jay and I actually, despite our very close friendship that we have now, we weren't besties freshman year, but we were still friends. We hung out. I was good friends with your roommates, so I was always in your room.
Yeah. We were nowhere near as close as we are now, but
our friendship blossomed sophomore-ish year.
Gross.
I will say,
calm down.
Freshman year, it was great to leave your door open. But at the same time, like Ross said, that wasn't as much of a thing for us in our building. But there was one day that my roommate and I left our door open, and these 3 guys from a floor up from us came down, and they were like, "Oh my God, hey, what's up?" And we all like exchanged Snapchats, and we were like, "Okay, this is cool. Like, we're gonna meet new people and stuff." And that was how I got asked for foot pics.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh wait, that was the guy with the girlfriend. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
We love wholesome floor mate relationships.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I really thought that was gonna be a story of like, and that's how I met my best friend.
No,
I was
that guy. I remember. Yeah, I remember you telling me that story. That guy was scary.
Yeah, Jay
nice.
recently actually came back. We got margaritas at Homegrown. Highly recommend once you are of age.
Corona Rita.
And right? And this guy walked past, and I like immediately tensed up and just, what is going on? And I was like, that asked me for foot pics.
It happens to the best of us, I would usually say, but Cam has never been commissioned for foot pics, so sucks. But
and I never know where this is gonna go.
Usually, when you keep your door open, people won't ask you for feet pics. So, still recommend.
Hope for the best.
Oh, definitely, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
I'm like not over that.
I'm not over it.
I was like, I know that story, and I still like Claudia said, I was waiting for like, and we were friends forever, and it was like, oh no,
bro. I was looking for like, this is gonna be inspirational. Like, keep your door open, you'll meet your best friend, like your maid of honor, all this. Nope.
No, I will say, like, even though I did experience that, and it was a very weird moment for me. But I still highly recommend you like leaving your door open, because that's how you meet like different people that you wouldn't normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though there will be that wild card.
You never know.
Might get commissioned for foot pics, but you know. Well, one other piece of advice while we're getting to the end here is quote unquote dating floor mates.
I love how it's my favorite thing that you called it dating in quotes. I think that's hilarious.
I was trying to be PG-13, trying to just, you know, for the parents listening. But no, basically, there's a term called floor cest. I'm sure you know where the original word is, but basically just hooking up with people on your floor can be an issue. I never had an issue with it. I'm a child of God, but but no, there's definitely, I have known a lot of people where there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of problems, there's a lot of issues with hooking up with people on your floor, no matter what capacity it may be in. So, you know, proceed at your own risk. Don't recommend, but proceed at your own risk.
I refused. I would not do that.
Uh-huh.
I did not.
I know people
never
who just
did.
kind of work their way down the floor. They date this person, hang out with this person, do whatever. And I'm like, all right, man, you do you. But there was always so much drama, always so many issues, which I don't necessarily agree with it, that anything has to become dramatic, but
it's college.
It's college.
But also,
15,000 people at that school, Jay. Yeah,
yeah, if you think about it, the people who are living on your floor are the people that you are going to run into the most often.
Right.
So those would be the people that you wouldn't want to.
Should be at the bottom of the list.
Exactly. Your friends. Your friends.
Your friends.
Those are your friends.
But
Jesus.
Fun times. It's freshman year.
Yeah, I feel like that happened. I feel like that's like a sophomore. If you're in a dorm, I feel like that happens. Not as much. If you're an upperclassman living in a dorm, that still happens. Not as much as freshman year. Definitely not.
Well, and I found that freshman year was a lot more interactive than sophomore year. You sophomore year, you start to develop your friends. You're friends with people freshman year, classes, clubs, stuff like that. You tend to be less involved. I was less involved. I'm assuming that it is more universal, but
everyone's separated too. Pretty much.
So, I mean, take advantage of freshman year by every mean. I mean, I loved my freshman year, and I was only really around for half of it because I was so busy the first semester, but it's how I met, except for Sam, met these wonderful people. Yeah. Sam and I met later, but
I feel like I've known Sam since freshman year.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, I feel like I've known you guys since freshman year, but that's just because of all the stories.
Yeah.
I remember I didn't really know Sam very well, and Jay and I were sitting out on my porch, which if you were at UD when we were, everyone knew the porch. It was the best place ever. And she was walking by, and I was like, that's going to be my new roommate. And Jay was like, Sam, let me meet you, and called her the roommate. And I was like, oh my God, you're going to make her so uncomfortable. This random man screaming at her from her future house.
I just needed to make sure that, we had rules at 95, so I just had to make sure.
Oh my gosh.
And Jay thought that he made all the rules.
I didn't think that.
I walk into my house and eat half of my dinner.
Well, that's
but also just to clarify, when I first actually met Jay, once I had moved in, he's like, Sam, what are your rules? What are you gonna be like? And I was like, Jalen, please just don't be an asshole, and things will be fine. And he broke that rule.
I did break that rule, and I broke that rule, and we're still friends. So obviously, that rule didn't matter anyway. It's fine. But yeah.
Well,
okay.
Do you guys have any other freshman year advice of living with roommates, floormates, the whole deal?
Oh, actually, one more thing to say. If you are having fun with a special friend, if we're keeping things PG-13 here, lock the door and tell your roommates.
Yes. Yeah, at Ryan. At Ryan.
Sam, I can appreciate the PG-13 special friend.
Just send a text in the roommate group chat beforehand.
Actually, before
we're happy to sit in the hall. We don't care.
Yes, in the hall. I'll go to the lounge. I'll do some work. I don't need to walk in on.
Nope. Yes. Make sure you lock the door.
Make sure you lock the door.
The sock on the door, that is no longer a thing. No, that's in the movies. We have group chats. Just
send a quick text. It's cool.
It takes a second.
Or if your
You can tell we're all
roommate's drunk.
traumatized by something.
Or if your roommate's drunk, make sure you lock the door anyway. Even
Yeah.
if you do send a text, they know what's going on, lock the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah,
Yes.
just lock it. It's fine.
Okay. Any other things?
I think we covered it all. I think
think-
yeah. Sneak peek into dorm life.
think
Exactly. But yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Think we are good. See you guys
Yeah.
next time.
Thank you guys for
Bye.
having me.
Oh, right. See, this is the second
Sam
time
is
where
a special guest.
Right,
We
I know this is
forget
the
we have
second. This is the
guests.
second time. This is the second time. I'm like, oh, right. Like she's not. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for talking.
I had a great time.
I'm
Been
glad.
fun.
She actually listens to the podcast, so she's a good to have.
Gotta stop
I'm like,
recording.
I
like a
do.
but yeah. All right. Hasta luego, bitch.
See you next week.